Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Ballet with QRE Network, and this is my co-host. You could call her Tracie Mann, and she is a resident channeler. So she channels Daniel the Arcturian, and I try to post her videos every Monday, every Tuesday, but with everything being so busy and so much stuff is going on in the world today, and
yes,
whether it's the sessions, whether it's the emails or anything like that, trying to communicate with all these other practitioners to get their feedback on it, it's been pretty crazy. So plus with my full-time job, things been even more busier with everything going on with supply issues and so on. But I know I picked up
it
a lot
just
of
makes it
subscribers.
more exciting when it gets here. That's all.
More opportunities, right? That's how they see it at work. So I wanted to introduce Tracie because I know a lot of y'all are new to the channel now because of that last video. And that video is called New Earth versus the New World Order, episode 1 with Suzanne. With that being said, there's going to be more videos coming out. There's an episode 2, 3, and 4 already booked, ready to roll. I just have to edit the videos and get them going. And right now, Tracie is going to go get Daniel the Arcturian.
All right. So, yeah. I'm going to exit. We'll see you guys at the other side. And let's go find out what Daniel has to tell us. Yay.
Perfect.
We want to play with the energy today. We want to get everybody moving in the energy, playing with this beautiful idea of infinity. Infinity, infinity. You are infinity. You are your own magic. You are your own flow of energy, and you are the magic, the majestic energy that you pull in that creates that version of you that is sitting there right now listening to this video. You are this beautiful space, this beautiful energy, this beautiful universe. Everything is about you. And so that is what we want to start off with. Just make it all about you and how you are the magic that you are looking for. And that is not a new saying by any means, but we want to just remind you that everything that you are looking for, bring it back into the inside, into you, because that is really where all the answers lie anyway, isn't it? And hello, Jason.
Hello, Daniel. How are you doing today?
We are very, very excited to be here and to be part of this exciting video that's about to be made today. And all the people that come and collectively join us energetically, even though we are not live on this, we still feel the energy. So it is a good time for us.
Before we begin, did you have anything to share for the new subscribers, the new viewers that came on board recently?
Well, there's a lot of exciting vibrations out there, isn't there? So we're going to scan the audience. We'll scan all those. And this is a timeless scan, so it doesn't matter how far out you are watching this video. We feel your energy. We pull you in. We see you. And we just want to appreciate you for joining and for opening your minds and being part of this collective and being part of this community. It is a very expansive, loving, kind, and curious community at that. And so as we are looking, we do want to talk to those. We're seeing a collective. It is funny how it shows up. We're seeing them over here in the mind's eye. So we want to ask, what is this collective? Those who feel connected to the Pleiadian councils, you are going to be getting some new, we want to say new assignments. New assignments are coming in for you. You are connected to the Pleiadian energy, and you are going to be pulling in frequencies that are different. We want to say from the point that you are listening to this video, again, it is a timeless video. We don't want to say, okay, on this stage, you're going to start pulling it in. If you are drawn to this video at whatever time you are drawn to it, that is the time that you are being activated in this new thread of energy, this new idea, this new thought, this new way of being. You are going to be going through what one might call a reset or a reprogram to get you in a different direction, or to give you a new idea to take whatever it is you're doing now into a new direction. And so wait to be inspired. It's going to come in for you. All those who feel connected to that Pleiadian Council community. And that is pretty much everyone that is listening, we think, because everyone has this beautiful energy connected to the Pleiadian councils. The Pleiadians are one of the most dominant energies that come in and work with the humankind. And so we are very excited to announce that they are going to be upping your game, yes, moving you into something new, giving you the next thing that you have been waiting for. It is coming, it is for you, it is for you to do. You are hearing it right. For all those that go into the doubt and the fear that you are not hearing it right, that you are making it up, that this could not be for me, I'm just making this up, I just want that to be true. Well, guess what? It is true, it is you, and it is a request that is being asked of you to move your vibrations, your frequencies into a new way of thinking, a new way of presenting, a new way of being, whatever it might be. But of course you have free will, so you get to do whatever you want with that. And we welcome this new community, the new subscribers. We thank you for being here. We thank you for joining us. And we hope that you will continue to watch and to take part in Jason's videos, as he has such a beautiful intention, a beautiful heart, and he takes it and he moves it out to try to bring in the best information he possibly can to you, the community. So we ask you to take all of that to heart. And as always, we say use discernment. So if you hear something on these videos that you do not like, that does not mean, oh, I'm not following this person anymore. It means you are being activated in your own discernment. And it is time to be excited when you're like, I don't know if I fully agree with what's being said here. And that is to go with this video along with any others. Use your discernment. What is your truth? What is good for you? What is not good for you? What sounds right? What doesn't sound right? And what a beautiful lesson that will be for trusting yourself, for moving into your core being, to look inside and find your truth and your reality. Because what might be right for you may not be right for the next guy, but there's going to be something that is right for everybody somewhere along the way in these videos, and you will find truth in them, and you will find your way in them, and you will find your awakening in them, and you will continue to expand and grow. So we thank you for being here. How was that? And Jason did not even pay us to say that stuff.
I know, it was all free.
And we enjoy being here with your energy and with the collective. We thank you for putting this together and creating this platform for everyone to come together.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you for everything, and thank you for your time as well. And I know that we haven't done this in a while, but I think almost in the beginning when I asked these questions, but just to get everybody up to speed, can you tell everybody who you are and where you at? Where are you located?
We like that question. Who are we? And we say we because, yes, Daniel is the Arcturian that is connected to Tracie. Daniel is a version of Tracie that is incarnated in the planet of Arcturus and channels through her. And then there is the collective, and she calls the collective the Imperials, and that is a collective of how do we want to say it? Many different vibrations of the Arcturian councils, the Arcturian Council of Light. There are many beings that the Imperial Council is a full council of Arcturian beings, all that are bringing in different vibrations and frequencies. We collaborate together, and Daniel is our gateway to speak through Tracie. So when you hear, you hear the words we, that is referring to the council and Daniel. Daniel is part of the council, Tracie is part of the council. And so as we speak through her, there is a community of thoughts that go together to form the words that we say that come through to you. And What you might notice as you continue to listen is some of you have been here from the very beginning and some of you are brand new, and we welcome all of those brand new. But there is a lot of things that we do to Tracie's voice when we speak through her. So you may find yourself being activated just by the pure sound of her voice. It does not matter what the words are. We change the frequencies, we move her voice up and down, we fluctuate it, we speak light language through her, and we send vibrations through, and we move her body a lot. She says, oh my gosh, it's like a workout when she is done with these, because we move her hands a lot, and even the hand movements is sending out frequencies. We move energy through her hands. And even though you are watching this on a video, you are still receiving the intention. We set the intention that you receive the energy in the highest and best good for everyone, only receiving the highest and best good for you. And we ask that each of you set your gatekeepers, as we call it. Daniel is Tracie's gatekeeper. That is the guardian of the energy. Only the highest vibrational energy can come through to Tracie, can speak through Tracie, because Daniel watches over her. And we ask you each to maybe set the intention to have that same thing be in place for you, so that only the highest vibrations can reach you, can reach your ears, can reach your thoughts, can reach what it is that you are here for as you are listening. And so as we have been talking, we have been setting all kinds of intentions with the frequency of Tracie's voice and moving activations through each and every one of you. There is sacred geometry that moves through the air, through the molecules of every breath you take, through the sun that comes in, through the moonlight that comes in, through the stars that are up above. There is always sacred geometry. There is always downloads and codes coming in and out. You get to decide with your free will, what am I willing to accept? What am I willing to bring in? As I am sitting here listening to these frequencies moving through the voice, moving through the hand movements, moving through the intentions. That's a fun one, the intentions. The thought alone is a frequency and a vibration. So when the thought comes through, to move through to each and every one of you, it is a thought connection. We are all very telepathic. And as we are speaking to you, you are all very telepathically connected to us. We can feel you. And if you set the intention, we hope that you can feel us as well. It is a beautiful wave of energy that moves through each and every one of our minds. And as we are all connecting in that way, we are all sharing the frequencies and vibrations in the highest, best good to each and every one of us. We are all exchanging. So we are sharing with you and you are sharing with us, and we are all bringing in these high vibrations together. And that which you have not experienced yet, you now have access to. We like to share the vibrations. We like to share the energy. We like to move you up, up, up in your own frequencies, your vibrations, your thoughts, moving your mind into places that are more productive for you, so that your manifestations, your creations, everything that you go about into the world to do, you are finding yourself moving in that direction quicker, faster, easier when you are in these higher vibrations. So we say, stick with us. Stick with us. We'll help you get there. We want you to manifest and create the most glorious, beautiful life that you possibly can. Did we say enough about who we might be and where we are and how to access us through this telepathy?
Yes, you shared plenty of information. It was very good information. That was more than enough.
Wonderful.
Now, did you explain where you are by any chance? Like where you're located?
We did mention that Daniel is on the planet Arcturius, and we are also on this planet, and we are moving information through thought, through telepathy. Telepathy is an instant exchange. Unlike the speed of light or the speed of sound, the mind is instant, and there is no time between the thoughts. And so as we think it, she can say it. And it does not matter if we are light years away, or if we're hovering over top of you in a ship, or if we are standing right next to you. It takes the same amount of time for that thought to get back and forth. And so that is why it is so incredible, and it is so fun to connect with each and every one of you as you expand your minds and as you start to grow into the idea that you also have counterparts outside of yourselves in these other galactic existences, these other realms, these other realities that you can telepathically connect to. That is how you communicate with your angels, with your guides, with your higher self, with your source energy. And so why not extend that out to all the benevolence out there that is available to you? How fun will that be as you expand your mind into the known and unknown of who you are, and do know that every one of you has a counterpart that is incarnated, a part of you that is incarnated on another planet, another place, another dimension, another reality that you can connect to and you can talk to and you can communicate, just like Tracie does as she communicates through Daniel and Daniel communicates through her. She learned not too long ago that we channel her as well. We bring her to our world, our Arcturus energy. She comes through and Daniel channels her and she gives information to the collectives up there. And so she is like, oh, I didn't know that was a regular thing. She thought that just happened once, but no, that is a regular thing. We will channel her higher self and her energy and her, we made her aware of it one time that she was doing that, but usually we do this at night when she is sleeping. We bring her energy and move her energy through Daniel, and she channels for us in those realms and those realities off planet. She has visited ships. She has visited Arcturus. She has visited many other planets. She has been to the inner Earth, and she has been through she has gone to the worlds where the mantis beings live. She has gone to the Syrian councils of light. She has been on the galactic commanding ships and the different space stations. And she has been quite traveled, and she is in her mind right now going, wait a minute, when did all of this happen? And at some point in her life, she will get to remember these things. And right now, that is too much for her mind to handle. It is too much for her, as one might say, to be activated in the memory of that would only make her long to do it and to not be here, but to be there, because she is so connected energetically to these other places, these other planets, these other dimensions, these other energies, because they are all part of her oneness, her collective. And so it is very hard for her to be away from her collective. And when she finds her counterpart collectives within the earth realm here, within the third dimensional energy here, she finds it very hard to be separated from them when she finds them here in the physical realm. And then she gets separated from them. She already knows it is hard sometimes to be away from friends. And so we say to her in this moment, and we say to all of you in this moment, you don't remember certain things that you have been through, certain areas, planets that you have visited, beings that you have shared time with, because it would make you long for that. And it would be very difficult to complete your purpose and your mission here in your human form if you had all those memories. So know that you will have access to those memories again. They will be there. They have not gone anywhere, but it is not productive for you to have it at this time, as it would only interfere with what it is that you came here to do. And so we hope that has actually answered some questions for some people as well.
Yeah, yes, it has. What dimension are you in?
We are in all the dimensions because we like to travel and play. We are in the 9th dimension in the Arcturus planet. We reside in the 9th dimension, and Daniel bounces back and forth between the 7th and the 9th, and Tracie bounces back and forth between the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And so she can connect to Daniel when she can raise her vibration to the 7th dimension. That is when she brings the channel in. You're giving her information she did not know as well. So these are good questions, because she's never asked those questions, and she did not realize that is what happens when she closes her eyes and centers herself, that she is raising her vibration into that 7th dimension.
Perfect. So next question will be, so Tracie shares information with your group as well. What kind of information does she share?
Well, she tells all your dirty secrets, Jason. And so we don't want to air too much dirty laundry, right? No. She is bringing in dimension. Yes, we'll divulge all the dirty secrets at the end of the show. So please pay attention, stay to the end of the show. We'll tell you everything you want to know about Jason. Now, when she is coming to our planet, when she is coming into our existence and our reality, we study the humankind because we are here to help humankind. And we need to know what is working and what is not working, how the emotions work, how the evolution is working. So as she does her work here to evolve, to ascend, to move through her emotional things and through her day-to-day life, how is that integrating? What can we do to help? How can we help people to move through their karma? How do we help people move through their relationships and evolve them and move them into a higher, better frequency so that people are not triggering, is that the word, triggering, fighting, disagreeing? How do we take countries? How do we take this planetary system that you are on and help people to see in more peaceful ways how to resolve issues? All of that information we gather not just through Tracie, but we bring it through many, many different light workers, way showers that have come into this planet to be the bridge between us and them and the third dimension, so that we can help find ways to find peaceful resolution, to resolve these problems without the anger and the frustration and the pain that is going on currently. And so that we can extract this pain and move it into a more peaceful place, move it into a neutral place, so that people can find their calm, their peace, and their balance within themselves. The idea in this world right now is that there is a benevolent balance being created between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. You are, as you know, everyone has both. You have divine masculine, you have divine feminine. You are working with that energy. You are embracing that energy. You are finding where your shadows come out in both, where you might become angry in the feminine or angry in the masculine, and how that displays itself differently, and finding the peace and the neutrality in that, and finding your way through that so that you can be in balance. And when you come into balance with that, then you notice that everything around you starts to change. As you become in balance with your masculine, feminine, and you bring in the divine union of the two, then you will start to notice that your reality that is mirrored back to you is now becoming more in balance as well. So if you're one of those people that says, every time I go to the restaurant, they bring me the wrong order. Every time I get up to a stoplight, it turns red. Every time I go to the gas station, there's a long line. You see what we're saying? And then you start to bring yourself into more balance, into more peace, into more neutrality. And you'll start to notice that all the lights are green, and the gas station, you're the only one at the pump and then you pull up, and then a herd of people come in behind you, but you get there first. And not only did you get the right order with your dinner, but maybe they even brought you a little extra, and something special might happen, or the service is extra special and nice that night, whatever it might be. But you notice your world will start to change. The way that people respond to you will start to change because you are in balance. And when you bring that dominant energy of balance into a space, into a reality, then everything around you starts to be affected by that balance. And you start to bring in other people into their balance, whether they know you're doing it or not, whether you know you're doing it or not. You just hold your energy, and you will automatically be helping everyone that comes in contact with you. We don't even remember what your question was at this point, Jason.
I know, but very interesting stuff. That is for sure. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on, but I know you have. But a lot of things on Earth is getting a little bit chaotic. A lot of crazy things are going on. Did you have any information for anybody that just going through a hard time with what's going on in the world today? Did you have any advice?
Yes, we want to point out that there is the veins of the earth, the energetic grid, the ley lines, whatever you want to call it. And there are pressure points within those ley lines. And the energy builds up and builds up and builds up. And if there is nothing there to release that energy, then it starts to affect everyone. If you think about how highly sensitive you are as an energetic being, and then you place yourself on a part of the world that has a lot of buildup of anger and hate and rage and frustration and repression, and then that energy is an imprint. It is a frequency that's getting sent into the ley lines of the earth. And right now what is happening is there are grid workers hard at work, and they're trying to hold and sustain this energy into certain areas of the earth. So you may notice that certain things are happening in certain collective areas, whether it be an earthquake or a volcano or an outburst public outburst or political agendas being in the uprise, and maybe you're noticing it more in the city centers, and maybe you're noticing it more in certain parts of the world. But what's happening is the energy is now being contained instead of going through the ley lines, because the healing of Mother Earth is very important. And as we keep healing the different grid lines, we have to protect them. And so we have grid workers, and some of you know who you are, that are holding steady the repaired grid and working still to repair the rest. But as you sweep a floor, the pile starts to come to the center, right? And then you have to sweep up the center, but there's a big piled up mess at the center of the floor after you swept. And so that is kind of what's happening. The energy is getting swept in, it's getting isolated into certain areas, and it comes out in certain ways. So if you have an energetic imprint that is a frustration, of anger, of repression, of hurt and pain, of feeling suffocated, even is the word that comes to mind. And then you have everybody in that population, in that area, is energetically can be feeling that. And if they do not know how to transmute that energy, if they do not know how to move that energy out, it can show up as a riot. It can show up as disgruntled people. It can show up as the land itself erupting or moving or shaking or pulling apart, or the water. Well, we had talked not too long ago about the waters on the East Coast, that we were going to see signs of the water changing. And sure enough, we got the red tides coming in and the fish washing up on the beaches. And this is what we talk about. This energy gets extracted somehow. And so this is how it comes out. This is how we're going to see it. So it's either going to be a physical event that the earth is doing through purging, through water, through earthquakes, through storms, through whatever, or it's going to come up through the people themselves, through outrage, through violence, through even peace. We don't want to make it all sound violent, but that is hopefully that helps you to bring in an understanding of, if you are seeing things happening around the world, we encourage you to send love and light to the grids, to the collective grid for humankind and for the grids of the earth. Send lots of love, send lots of healing. That is the way to move this energy. Love transmutes the imprints of the anger and the pain. Love transmutes the imprints of the damage to the water. Love is going to be the thing that solves all your problems, really. And we encourage you to just be in, instead of feeling the pain of the world at this time, find something that makes you feel the peace, makes you feel the love, and a thought or a feeling, an instance that maybe brings you into that loving energy, and then just see the world wrapped up in that. Focus it on the area that you are concerned of. Focus it on the loved ones that you are concerned of. You don't have to, we don't want you to project your ideas of what you think might be the right answer for individuals, places, people, things. Just send love to it and let source, let this world, this universe you live in, use that love energy as an invitation to go in and heal it in the best and highest good. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. Did we answer your question okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, a lot of individuals are going to see a lot of things chaotic on the TV, on the news, and so on. And I know we discussed this before in the past, and you did say that the energy was going to be thicker and harder, and there's going to be these waves of energy. And, we still have I'm assuming we still have a lot more to go through before things get better.
We certainly have a lot more to go through. You will see relief in a lot of that in the next year. And we mentioned that before too. And we do believe that we mentioned that finances will take a turn in the last part of this year. People will find different ways that they can accumulate finances or better financial situations for themselves. But we say that, and it sounds like there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We understand that, but sometimes that also involves a very extreme change that can feel scary and hard. And so we just want you to know, if you are going through a lot of change, if you are pushed into a direction, if maybe you have to move out of your residence that you're in and move to a new one, and that wasn't of your choosing, just know that you are divinely guided to a new location for a reason. You are no longer energetically a match, and people might find that their energy is changing so much that they are actually having to move more often than they would desire, because they're no longer energetic matches to where they end up residing, right? And so as you keep evolving, evolve everything around you. As you evolve yourself, evolve the land you sit on, evolve the home you're in, evolve the people around you. We say that as if that is a choice, but send the energy out to them so that they have the opportunity to rise up with you, and bring it in as an invitation to everything around you can evolve with you. And then maybe that will help you hold and sustain the residence that you are in if you are enjoying where you are at. If you evolve your frequencies outside of that which you are residing in, then of course you're going to be relocated, because you are chess pieces on the chessboard. We move you. We have to move you where energetically it's going to best serve the collective. And we apologize to anyone who is feeling the hardship of that, or the distancing from loved ones because they had to move, or the frustration of packing everything up and having to move it. But we say to you, it is all worth it. And we want you to step out of the third dimensional reality of that and the physical reality of that, and look at it from a bigger picture, because it is a glorious thing. It is a magical thing. It is a wonderful thing. If you are moving, then that means that you are ascending in a great and powerful way, and that the universe needs to put you somewhere else so that you can evolve that area, so that you can bring the energy up, so you can work with the ley lines of that particular place, and that you will amplify. If you are being moved, that most likely means you are an amplifier of energy, and that is why they are placing you somewhere new. Does that help?
Yes, yes, it does.
Mhm.
Perfect, perfect. I love it. Next part would be, is there any other councils or any other groups that have any messages they would like to share with what is going on in the world today?
The Arminians would like to come in. That is a name we don't hear. Arminians, where are you from? They have come through the sun portal. We're looking to see if there is a frequency match for Tracie to bring them through for you. Hold on. We are trying to get the message. We apologize for the time that it takes to acclimate the physical body to the frequencies so that we can bring that through for you.
Are they part of the Armani group, the clothing line?
They are dressed very fine. Maybe that is true. Maybe they are part of the collective that created this beautiful line of clothing. There is 7 beings coming through. They're coming through. Oh, that is interesting. They're astro projecting themselves through like a hologram, and so that we can see them. They are very human-esque in their appearance, and they are fair-skinned and light eyes. They are much like the Palladians in that way. They're here. Why are we here? Why are the Arminians here?
Don't be shy.
There is a collective that there is a collective of beings that are watching this show right now. Some of them are the new ones that just came in, the new ones to view you, and this is what is drawing them in. They are connected to the Arminian collective, and the collective is here to activate them. There is a heart chakra activation that is going to be going out, a signal that is going to be going out. If you feel connected to this message, then we want you to focus on the heart chakra right now and just allow for the connection to come in. These are high vibrational beings. We do feel their energy is quite pure and genuine, and that their intent is to come in and help elevate. There's been messages in the past that that there are certain parts of the collective that are going to be downloaded with technology. These particular beings are going to be bringing in that some of the downloads of some new technology that will be coming in, and the ones that are meant to receive that will receive it. And they are going to be inspired to invent, to create, to manifest these particular new devices. Yes, we hear your voice, Jason. Oh, what kind of devices are we going to be anticipating here, right? You want to know.
You got it.
Devices. We hear you. They're showing us that the food replicator is going to be one of them, and that how more work to be done on how to harness the energy of the sun, the air, the electricity within the air. There's something. We're hearing water for everyone, water for everyone. So there are devices that will, and some of this is already happening around the world, where they are creating the devices to pull the moisture from the air to create water for everyone. They're calling it the cloud system. Don't know what that means. There is a cloud system. There's technology that will be brought in, and it is going to be some of the ones who are receiving this information are of the younger generation. We're seeing a younger generation. We hope that they don't have to be here listening to the message in order to receive the download. They are already pre-selected. They have already agreed to it. But some of you that are listening, some of you that are resonating with this, that are engineers or connected to engineers, you are bringing this energy in. You are going to be bringing in a lot of things that are really going to help your planet evolve and heal from the overuse of the products of the earth, of the resources. We want to say the water, the air, air is air, but it is polluted. So to clean up the air, to clean up the water, to grow the plants and the forests and the trees and the different agriculture around the world, all of it, it is going to amplify it, and not in a way that will be of disdain. Maybe that is the word. Not genetically modified and not chemically modified, but it is going to be a frequency that people will start to discover, that amplify the growth of plants and the nutrition of plants, and it is a vibration, a frequency that will start to be implemented into that which is your agriculture of today's times, that which is the air purification, the water purification. It is all coming into play. And so that is exciting times, and we welcome them in to do that. We ask, is there any other messages from you? Okay, so they want you to know that the world has gotten too serious. The world has gotten too serious, they say, and it is time for everybody to get out and play, because everybody is too stressed out with everything going on in the planet today. Everybody got stressed out and they're all worried, and not everybody, of course, but if it is resonating with you that you have gotten too caught up in the illusion of that which appears to be real, then it's time to take a step back. It is time to go out and bring out the inner child. Go for a bike ride, go for a hike, play in the sand, do whatever you want to do. Go to the beach for the day, go play, just go play. They say the energy of the planet is so heavy right now that we really need everyone to go out and play. What a fun assignment that is, isn't it? To just go out and play and be joyful and silly and not to worry. Take at least one day every week if you can, to just play. And if you can do more than that, do more than that. If you can come home from work at night and you can go put your feet in the water go swimming, go play, go out in the grass, play catch, whatever it is that you like to do, whatever it is that brings fun to you. They say not the video games. Oh dear, there's a lot of you that probably don't like hearing that. But not the video games, because that is part of the consumerism programming. They want you to step away from anything electronic and go out and play, physically do something, hike, run, bike, swim, whatever it is, move your body and go play. And you are going to see a humongous shift in your life if you follow those directions. Go do something, step away from the electronics, put the phone down, and go play. And do we have any other messages? We are hearing the song, You Don't Know You're Beautiful. And so they're wanting to convey the message that everyone on this planet is a beautiful being, and to find the beauty within each and every person. Find it within yourself and find it within your neighbor, your friends, your family. Find that spark, find that light within each person and bring that out in them. So if you know somebody that is having a bad day, turn it into a good day by telling them all the things that you admire and love about them, all the things that you see as good traits for them, how amazing they are, how wonderful they are, how strong they are, how not everybody could take the journey that they have taken and be the magnificent selves that they are. And you yourselves, we say that to you. Not everybody could have done the journey that you have done, have handled the hardships that you have handled. And yet here you are listening to us right now, stepping into your glory, into your goodness, into your true self, into your high vibration. And you're bringing it. You're bringing your A game, they say. Bring your A game and be the light. As the dog fell off the steps there, sorry for the noise and distraction, but be the light that is burning within you, that is showing the world how magnificent not only you can be, but everyone around you has this gift, this ability to be this magnificence. And it is a beautiful gift. So go out and play, step into the energy and the light that is you, bring that spark out in others. And they say everything starts to fall into place and you start to open up more yourself. If you're saying, oh, I can't connect, I don't get my messages. Well, one, we say you are self-affirming it, so stop saying that. But if you feel that way, then go out and play and open your mind and just let things flow. Let the energy come into you. You've got too serious about everything, and it is creating an energetic lockdown on your body, on your information, on your creativity. And so release that. We want to thank them for coming. They're starting to recede now. So we want to thank the Arminian group for being here and for bringing us this information. And is there anything else that you would like to ask us at this time?
Yeah, in case someone's thinking, is there any information where they're from or what they look like?
They're showing us that they came through the sun portal. They're from one of the other galaxies, a planetary system that we're not familiar with ourselves. And we described them a little bit. We described them, they are human in essence, and they would mirror like a Palladian collective. They look similar to that, if that is helpful. Their uniforms, they say, are much better. Our uniforms are better. They're playful, they're jokey, they are lighthearted, but they are also here to help with creativity, with expansion, with technology, and with bringing this world back into its best form. So they are available to anyone that would like to connect to them.
Perfect. Thank you to that group for coming in and sharing all that information. We still have about a few more minutes left. Is there any other councils that would like to share anything?
We have the collective of the seven sons. We like that you are asking these questions, Jason, because Tracie has started to ask for all benevolent beings known and unknown to her. And she says it in many of her videos now to ask for that. And as she has asked for it, now we are getting these different collectives that have not come through our pathways before. So this collective of the seven sons is coming through. They are showing a picture of seven suns in a half circle that is moving underneath it, like they're forming a bowl underneath, and then there's this brilliant, beautiful sun coming through the center of that, and there's beautiful blue colors that are blues that are not shades of blue that you see with the human eye in the earth realm. And so they are the collective of the seven sons. What would you like to share with us at this time? They want people to know that they can ascend even higher than they believe that they can, that there is There is such a program right now feeding through humankind. Let's get to the fifth dimension. Let's get to 5D Earth, and let's get there. And many of the collectives are from planetary systems of higher vibrations than that. And they want to remind the listeners that you are from these vibrations, these higher vibrations, and that you are coming into your own with this information. You are coming into this beautiful star acknowledgement. You are part of the star systems. You are part of the star nations. You are part of this collective. You are part of the collective of the seven sons, or the Arminian collectives, and so many more that are out there. So open yourselves up to be in the higher frequencies. Do not limit yourself to the fifth dimension, as you are raising the, how do we want to say this? Because we don't want to make anything sound like it is better than the other. Everything is equal in its own way, but you are bringing the vibrations of the third dimension into the fifth dimension. And for that reason, there is a big focus on the fifth dimensional energy, and there is training within you to hold and sustain the fifth dimensional frequency. But we don't want you to limit yourself there. That is not where you top out at. If you are holding and sustaining a fifth dimensional frequency, that means that you have access to higher frequencies. Just like we had mentioned earlier, that Tracie can move into the seventh dimension when she connects with the Arcturians and brings that energy through. You need to know that if you are holding and sustaining a fifth dimensional frequency, use that as your platform to now raise into the higher frequencies, raise into the more, the fifth dimension is a very healing frequency, but if you move yourself into seventh, eighth, ninth dimension, you're going to find yourself evolved past the point of even understanding what the word healing means, because there is nothing ever to heal in those vibrations. And so the fifth dimension is holding an energy and a frequency to help release the fear-based energies, to move out of illness, to move out of pain, to move out of those frequencies, and to move into knowing that you do not need to carry those frequencies. And as you move into that, then you heal the body. Now, that is still a frequency. Fifth dimension is still an area of awareness where you are aware that there is illness, and that there was something to heal from. When you get into those higher dimensions, that is not even a reality. They do not understand it. And that is often why the bridge is connecting these collectives to the third dimension through the volunteers that came in to be in the human form, because they need to understand the illness. They need to understand the frequencies in order to send the right frequency to help heal it, to help raise the vibration. And that is part of what's happening here. The collective of the seven sons is here to help with the healing collective. Those who feel like they are the healers, please connect with this collective. They're here to help you move your vibrations into the space where instantaneous healing can begin. And so that is very exciting as well. We thank these collectives for showing themselves to us today. And that is a lot of energy that is coming through these new dimensions as well. Do you have questions about the seven sons?
If you could just share just a little bit information of what the Seven Sons Council is about.
They are here to help with the healing frequencies. They are here to bring in those higher dimensions, and to show people, those who have been following their path and doing their work and raising their vibration. Have you not noticed that it's kind of getting boring now? It's like, okay, I've raised my vibration and now I'm kind of sitting here twiddling my thumbs. What is it that I need to do next? Connect to the collective of the seven sons. They're going to show you what's next. They're going to raise you into a higher awareness. Like the Arminians are coming in to share the technology. The collective of the seven sons is coming in to shower us with new information of instantaneous healing and moving vibrations mentally. And what would a world be like if you didn't lose your mental faculties as you got older? You didn't get dementia, you didn't get Alzheimer's, you didn't have ADD, ADHD, autism. Healing the mind. They're here to help heal the mind.
Very interesting. Are these just energy beings? Are these
They
physical
do show
type
up
being?
more as a frequency of energy beings. We actually, some people might even relate to them as heaven, the heaven realm. That gives us chills, but they are of that vibration that a lot of people associate with the heaven realm. And those who are worried about, we are hearing this come in, those who are worried about any altercations that they may have taken on through the last few months, trying to help keep their bodies healthy, anything that you may have put in your body that you are worried about, please call on the Seventh Sons Collective. They will help you raise your vibration out of any detrimented, how do we want to word that? Anything that may have come to a detriment to your body through anything that you have done to alter the DNA or whatever might have been put into the body. It will help you raise out of the vibration and to stay and sustain in a healthy body.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. That's all
Mhm.
the questions I have at the moment, unless there's something else that needs to be talked about or shared.
We are not seeing anything at this time, but we are seeing a red ribbon. And so we want to ask, what is a red ribbon? What are you showing us with that? The red ribbon is a sign for people to stop what they're doing in that moment. If you see a red ribbon and you are able to stop what you are doing in that moment, it means there is a message coming to you from your collective, from your galactic councils, to just stop and pause in the moment. If you're not hearing the message come in, look at your surroundings. There's something there they want you to see, something they want you to take in. What were you thinking about in that moment? Maybe there's something significant for you if you were daydreaming and processing and getting in the creative mind, or maybe you were thinking about a relationship, or maybe you were thinking about moving somewhere or doing something. The red ribbon is a sign for you to stop and listen or pay attention to what's going on in that moment or what you were thinking about. So if you see the red ribbon, and Tracie says she always loves it because people will post, oh, I saw my red ribbon, oh, I saw my powder blue rose, oh, I saw the pink flamingo, whatever it is. And then she'll sit there and go, what does that mean? Because she forgets that we tell you these things. But we want you to post it. We want you to share it because it is very exciting when your signs do come through, and it is encouraging to other people to see that this is happening and that other people are experiencing it as well. So please use the comment section as a way to connect to your community, to share with your community. We invite you to do that.
Yes.
Beautiful. And that is all we think we have for you, unless you would like us to speak over the collective and say a light language prayer for everyone before parting. Would you like for us to do that?
Sure. That's perfect.
Beautiful.
Perfect ending.
So we just would like everyone to be centered in their bodies right now. If you are in a place where you can close your eyes in a safe way and just be in union with everyone that is bringing their frequencies forward to this video. We can feel your energies moving in, and it's almost as if everyone is moving in closer and closer. And we're all just huddling together in this beautiful place because our hearts all want the same thing all around the world. We want peace, we want love, we want to share with each other, we want to unite with each other. We want this beautiful world that we live in to be expansive and free so that we all may share in each other's energies and love on each other and cherish each other. Everybody that we have ever met has always wanted the same thing, to be able to live peacefully and love and be in harmony with themselves and in finding their joy. And we call that in for everyone. We call in the miracles, the blessings, the answered prayers for each and every one of you, and for all those that you love and care about, all those that you carry on your shoulders, your families, your loved ones, even your coworkers, if that's what you do. And we ask for you to release those burdens. They are not for you to carry. So release them and send them into the pillar of light that we're now calling into the center of this circle. Release your burdens, release your worries, release your hurts, your pains, your illnesses into this pillar of light, and let it be transmuted. We call this in for all of you so that you will be healed in this instant, so that you will find your way in this instant to your clarity, to your truth, to your voice to what it is that you came to this world to do. Se shafano koshimai. Un I say kia totuma ye do shan yara nata. Yesakato nu the derata should be wondo do fear and he san you un ashe fakarama she un and an e shutunum hiramata. Find your feet, they say. Find your feet and stand strong. Be who you came here to be. Be that person that you came here to be. You are a glorious, beautiful being. You are a being of light. You are a being of strength. You are a way shower. You are somebody that somebody else needs in this world right now. You need to stand tall, stand strong, be the pillar, be the light. Be that which somebody else needs right now. Be their foundation if you can. Hold tight to your energy, to your light, to your strength, and stand in those feet. Stand there in this place right now with us and pull in this energy, this light, this beautiful community of people. We call in peace around the world. We call in love around the world. We call the world healed. We call all those on this planet to be touched by this energy, to be awakened by this energy, to step forward in their truth and their light and their kindness and in their hearts. May all of their burdens and heartaches and all their demons be healed in this time. Let all the shadows be showered in light so that it can be healed and in the most peaceful and generous and glorious ways. And we ask for everyone to just be in this beautiful space of holding each other up, in these trying times, of seeing those who are suffering and scared and sending them love and light. It could be your neighbor, it could be someone across the world, it could be your friend, it could be your spouse, it could be you. Se she me gua. In ashe got on she berama. Ta sa dia dono ma she guan that be at the ocean no tivera. He sign yata. Ikototama shekil to yibera para. You are beautiful. We want you to know you are beautiful energy. Your frequency is so needed here on the planet at this time. You are that beautiful energy that can save and heal and strengthen this earth that you live on. That is why you are here. That's why you came. You know you have it in you to do it. It is you. You are the chosen one, and so is the person next to you in this energy field that we are creating. Everyone that is gathered here in this video, in this beautiful YouTube collective, you are all here to be the one, to be the light, to be shining bright. You have been chosen. You have elected to be here. You have come because you know you have something magnificent for this world. You carry a light and a beam and a strength that others are seeking and needing and craving at this time. So please share your light. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for being here. We know that we would love to stand here with you in our own physical, personal bodies to help you, to hold you, to encourage you. And we wish that we could do that at this time. But this is a world that requires you to be in this human form, to stand in this power. And we thank you for being here to do that, because as we work through you, with you, and around you, this is how we hold you, support you. We send you the love, we send you the frequencies, we help you in the ways that we can. We guide you through your mind, we guide you through your thoughts. And we ask you to please open up to it and shower the world in this beautiful, glorious place, because that is what you came here to do. And you are courageous and strong. And we thank you for your generous and beautiful contribution to being here at this time, to awaken the world at this time in such a magnificent, beautiful way. And it is working, and your hard work is paying off. And we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And with that, we will call it into a close and bring you all back into your beautiful bodies. And we thank you for all the energy work that you do and all the things that you do for your planet and all the kindness and beauty that you bring. We thank you. And with that, we'll bring that to a close. Is there anything else before we bring Tracie back in?
Nope, that is it.
Beautiful. She says, I'm getting hot over here anyway. So we will go ahead and bring her back in. We thank you, Jason, for having us again and for allowing us this platform. And for everyone who has come, we thank you for being here and giving us your time and your generosity. And we look forward to doing this with you again.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was hot. Okay. All right. Do you feel shifted and transformed and ready for all this new stuff to come in now?
Yeah, I'm wide awake now. I'm not even going to be able to go to sleep.
That's good. That's where we like to leave you.
About 9:22 my time. So by the time I get to bed, I'm going to be like, why
You're
can't I go to
zipping.
sleep? I'll be up here.
You will. Yeah, all the downloads, all the activations that came in. Wonderful. Well, that felt like it was a good energy all the way through. And we got 2 new collectives that came in. So that was pretty awesome too. That was interesting. And different energy with those, like the 7 sons, they were a very, it was very loving, like what you might consider like a Mother Mary energy, very nurturing, very loving, very embracing in that way. Like,
See that?
it's kind of like, come here, we'll give you a big hug. And then the Arminians, is that how that was being said? Those guys are kind of like, here, we've got our maps and our, what do you call that? When you got your specs of how to build a machine. Blueprints. We got our blueprints here. We got this layout here. We're going to download that to you, and they're all about the business. They're going to get it done. But they were funny. But they definitely had their work on their mind. So it's all good.
Yeah.
So
nice. So I'm assuming they look human. Is that what I was gathering?
yeah, they actually even kind of had blonde hair from what I could see. And they looked a lot like, so in my mind, they looked a lot like Palladians, but they had red uniforms. And their uniforms were more, how would I like to say that?
Like Star Trek, huh?
No, what I want to say is, like, do you watch Flash on Netflix, the series Flash? He's got this uniform that he puts on, and it's almost like Kevlar or something, or like it's like a thicker leathery material. That's kind of what it looked like, is something like that. It looked it kind of looked like a thick skin type of thing.
When you said Flash, I was like, I didn't know there was a series called Flash on Netflix, so I didn't know.
Oh. Hey, something I know that you don't. Wow.
When you said Flash, I think of Flash Garden.
Oh, yeah, don't think like that.
I was like, wasn't that like a leotard kind of thing?
That's funny. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so if people watch Flash on Netflix, you'll understand what I'm saying. But if not, then it's kind of like more of like a thick skin, kind of a weird, but it's a uniform and it's red. But they're showing it to me in my mind while I'm talking to you. It's got patterns on it. It's yeah, I don't know why, but it feels flexible. It feels flexible. It just feels like it's also very tough.
With uniforms like that, I mean, they got to be bringing some good technology. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I know what we could compare it to in the now I can't remember what this what am I thinking of? My mind just went completely blank. It's just like everything's gone.
It's probably the Arminians leaving the mind.
What do I want to say? Iron Man. What the
metal shell, the metal skin, the suit?
No. He's the only one I can think of and say the words, because I just completely went blank. But what is that series? With Iron Man and Thor and all those.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Okay, so the Avengers, the one that lives, that has that black uniform, that they live in the secret lands off in Africa, I think it is, like the hidden city of Africa. Yes, that outfit he wears. Now imagine that, only red. Okay, so high technology. Yeah, like he pushes a button on his necklace and maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's a real thing. Man, my head went blank. I'm like, I can't think of any of their names. I'm seeing it. Wakanda forever. I'm gonna go shake my head now.
I bought that movie by accident. I kept on pressing the remote, pressing enter, and next thing you know, it's like, thank you for your purchase. I was like, what?
But
And
it was probably a good movie.
yeah, it was good. I was like, all right, I'll take it, add it to the collection. So I bought it when it was expensive, brand new, but that's okay.
Yes, it's a collector's, see.
Yep, yep,
So,
yep.
all good. Wonderful. Yeah. Anything else? Why my mind is completely blank.
Yeah, what was the seven suns looking like? Was that like looking like an energy type thing, like beings or
Um, it was really
energy?
interesting because it was almost like a trademark that they were showing me. It had six suns down below, and it was almost like it was in clouds, and then there was these six suns, and then one big sun in the center, and then there was like this beautiful blue energy around it, and then it was almost like that was the portal or the gateway, because then I could see the beings. What did I say? There was, I don't know if I said how many beings there were, but I could see the beings like they were shadowy outline energies coming from that large center sun. I mean, I could try and draw it. No, I'm not a good drawer. I'm not going to do that to anybody. But anyways, they were coming through that portal that was supported by this other energy. So I don't know where seven suns came from, if that's actually what they call it, or if that's, I don't know. But those would be more energetic looking beings than like the Arminian ones look like physical beings. Those ones look more like energy.
Okay.
So
That was my thought. I was like, what if it deals with the sun?
yeah,
Yeah.
seven of them.
Seven of them. So it was seven beings or seven suns? Like
There were
seven.
seven suns, like
Okay.
like sun. So yeah, there were seven suns.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll look forward to that picture. Was anything else coming through? I forgot to ask this, but I know you mentioned some of the stuff that they're going to be making, the Arminians, technology wise, but what were they showing you in your mind? Were you able to see anything that they were bringing? I know you
It
mentioned
looked to me like they were going to,
all kinds of
remember they were saying everybody gets water or something like that, or what were they saying? Something about the water.
water
And then,
technology, maybe.
yeah, but then they were saying something about the clouds. And I know that we have tried to do cloud seeding before and put water where water's needed. Like right now, California could use a lot of water. Even here in Oregon, we've had extreme heat. So to me, they
How
kept
hot
showing
was
me
it?
these clouds. Oh, we've been in like 104, 100.
What?
Yeah, and it's been consistent.
Yeah,
So
hot.
even like right now, it's 7:30 at night, and we're in the upper 70s, and that's not normal for Oregon, especially, you know, when it gets later. That might be more normal, but the last couple of days, it's been still in the 80s by the time we get to this time of night. And usually this is when you crack the windows open and let the breeze come in, and no, it's still warm. But anyways, I kept seeing clouds. So I don't know if they're saying there's going to be a technology that creates rain, or I don't know what that meant. We didn't ask enough questions, and I didn't understand it. So
Yeah. Tell them to bring some of those cool looking outfits, those suits. That'd be cool.
yeah, we want some of those. We want to be able to, what is that guy able to do? He runs like super fast and can deflect bullets and can jump really high in that suit. Let's do that. That would be fun.
Black Panther.
The Black Panther, yes. Yeah, his super suit that gives him super strength. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't it? Okay, Jason and I are both fading because we can't think straight.
Yeah, it's almost about that time.
Time to call it.
We're getting back into
I'll draw you guys a picture and see what we can come up with.
Perfect. All right, cool. Another great session in the books, I do have to say. I like it when we just wing it.
I know.
And Dan, you brought up some great advice on what's going on in the world today and how to tackle those things and how to deal with it, which is very important. So
very much so. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Cool. Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, I want to say thank you very much. And for YouTubers, if you can share this in any which way or form you can, it will deeply appreciate it. But my Instagram game is off. So however you can share it, just share it.
Yeah. Oh, Instagram, one of those things they may never figure out. But anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know all those cool things like everybody else does.
Yeah, it's all of these. There's so many other ones out there. Like, I guess TikTok's the thing to do these days. So
I can see you doing TikTok with a little dance. So
yeah, I think I embarrassed myself enough on here. It's all good.
nice. Well, everybody take care. Have a good night and sweet dreams.
Bye, everyone.